All that, my cousin ain't telling you the truth. He did the painting of Washington for one reason, because he thought Gilbert Stuart's masterpiece made Washington look like a sick old lady. Now you look at the two of them side by side, and you tell me if Gilbert Stuart's isn't a lot better than my cousin Richard's.
Richard's painting portrays me exactly the way I hope all posterity will remember me.
Enough with the metaphysical salutes and bullshit. Let's get back to my humble abode here. But before we do, let me say that that guy heckling me is my artsy and incorrigible cousin David Daniels from Kansas.
Hey, what are you doing putting me up here on this potato sign?
Okay, here I am, back in the same old so-called presidential spot. But I'd like to now say that my paintings aren't all in the same old style, eye-strainingly serious. Some of my stuff is rather lighthearted, as you may have noticed when you got a brief glimpse of my oil painting of Ulysses S. Grant right over here. Grant is holding a pool cue, and the $50 bill he is on is colored rather than just all green. So I call it, quite cleverly, the color of money.
Hey dude, I also see on them little letters you painted on there, you call it the collar of Monet. It's awful clever for you.
You know, sort of a take on Tom Cruise's and Jackie Gleason's pool movie.
We know, the color of money.
The sequel to The Hustler.
You think that pool cue's a gear shift?
Okay, so you never heard of it. It was actually quite big at the time I did the painting. I also have a very light-hearted variation of my Washington painting called, of course, Father of Our Country.
The almighty dollar.
Hey, roll the film back for a second. Hey, what are you doing with the picture of my hero Donald Trump as a homeless person?
I'll let your money-hungry imagination figure that one out.
You mean greed ain't the best motivator?
How about goodness instead of greediness? Huh, Hot Rod?
Yeah, I guess now that you mention it, for every dollar a person has more than what they need, someone else has a dollar less than what they need.
Well, it's not quite that simple, but I would have to say that for every dollar one person has more than they need, it does indeed make it just that much more difficult for someone else to get a dollar they do need. Of course, the kicker is, what does need mean, and what is considered a reasonable effort at acquisition of that need?
Oh well, you old commie smart Alex, so much for that top dollar hot rod Lincoln I was gonna buy.
Moving to another very threatening issue.
I have a deadly serious illustration of Albert Einstein, which I recently put together from a rather traditional oil painting I did several years ago. The oil painting, which I've titled The Light-Headed One, hangs over there above my computer. I hope it might give me some tiny bit of inspiration. A person can always hope, can't they? And here is the Cry a Little Tear If You Can illustrated version of the painting, with Einstein's caring hand resting on the earth as the first atomic bomb explodes. Okay, back once again to the oh-so-serious presidential stuff. You can see right over there the small print of a painting I did of Abraham Lincoln, and I'm proud to say that the original 30 by 40 inch painting hangs in the library of my high school, LaDue Horton Watkins in St. Louis. Hold on a second while I open my painting portfolio of so-called living oils, which contains brief comments I wrote about each painting while the painting was nearing completion.
Hey James Dean Krause, that disappearing act is getting a little old, don't you think?
Okay, here I am.
I don't know how, folks, but for over a year, this oil painting, Mona Lisa Anew, was ranked by Google as the #1 image of Mona Lisa out of 60,000 others around the world. Hey Krause, you've been paying someone off at Google. Sorry cousin, I really shouldn't joke about this serious painting. I'll read the story behind it for the good folks. The story you posted on your website back in 2000. I did this painting, which I call Mona Lisa anew, working on and off over a period of years, 1994 to 98, with Sparky and Pip at my feet. I thought it was finished a couple years ago, with a small hourglass painted in Mona's hand. But when Sparky left us early the summer of 2000, Pip and I painted him in her divine hands. I met Sparky's leash hanging on the frame. Now my baby is free at last, and forever.
And
I tell you, Krause, you need to learn how to talk better. But I'll tell you, folks, he just slipped me a note and told me that from now on, for the rest of the show, if I display this Google award, every time one of his pictures comes up that at one time or another was rated #1 in the world by Google, he's going to give me an extra $5 each.
Here's my painting portfolio of so-called living oils, named after NBC's Living Color trademark.
You've been stolen from NBC.
Let's open it up.
Hey, what's that let's open it up stuff? What, you pick up that lingo from the orderlies when you were locked up back in the 70s in the state mental institution? That let's do this and that let's do that stuff.
Oh, shut up. People already think all artists are crazy. They don't need any more help from you.
And,
Let's open it up and see if I can find my picture of Honest Abe.
hold it, Honest Abe. I think everybody should see your counterfeit engraving stuff, too.
There, you happy?
And,
Okay, let's see.
and,
Here it is. And the comment next to it is actually briefer than most.
hey cousin, now that we're getting into showbiz with this driving rental and all, maybe you ought to think about getting one of them Hollywood rugs for your head, huh?
The link. Neo-biblical Abe about to discard the last link of human bondage, posing proudly beside the hammer of justice he used to break it. As I continue to show the more patient amongst you more of my paintings, I'll refer back to this portfolio.
Hey dude, you ain't referring back to nothing. You've been convicted of bad-mouthing modern art. Hitler didn't like modern art either. What are you, a Nazi like him?
Hitler also invented the first Volkswagen as a bulletproof outhouse because he had irritable bowel syndrome. Does that mean everybody with irritable bowel syndrome is a Nazi?
Hold it for a second. Let me read this for myself. World's first Volkswagen. A bulletproof portable commode invented by Adolf Hitler, who was the first world leader to suffer from irritable bowel syndrome, which he believed was caused by Jewish food he was fed in Landsberg prison while writing Mein Kampf. Well, who am I to argue with an historical document like this?
I'll refer back to this portfolio and to these others.
After you get the dust off of them.
Well, I have to take a brief rest and take care of Pip.
I'd just like to pause for a minute to say that if you occasionally hear me talking, but I'm not moving, my lips aren't even moving, it's because I learned ventriloquism years ago.
In a mental hospital?
But if you don't practice every once in a while, it's like anything, you lose the ability to do it. Anyway, moving back to the subject at hand. Before I do a vanishing act, I'll take this opportunity to show you about 8-9 years worth of painting in about 30 or 40 seconds.
Hey, hold it, rewind it! Hey, Krause, you're running them so fast I can't hardly see who the people are you painted.
Okay, just for you, I'll slow him down.
Sounds good, let him roll, old gifted one.
Please don't call me that. Nobody's given me a gift of anything. I worked so hard on these paintings for months each. Sometimes I feel like I turn into the person I'm painting.
Sticking a hard-boiled guy like me up on the wall is one thing. Making me listen to this soft-boiled bullshit is another.